Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about if it's a good time to buy some Bitcoin. Is it a good time to buy crypto overall? Has the dip stopped? Are we going to see more volatility tomorrow? What about Monday? Well, that's what I'm here to discuss. Let's get started. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, check out my social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and even some TikTok. And get your latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you guys are hanging in there. Somehow it does seem like things have gotten better, but when in reality it didn't. I think we just come to live with this low level right now, which happens to be at 35,000. Of course, a little bit higher than 34,000, but you know what? We're just kind of hanging in there. So this morning's dip to about that downwick to 34,000, that does seem like our local bottom right now. However, with that said, the fear is high. I told you guys I expected the fear index to update to 10, maybe even below. So I'm actually quite surprised that we're at 11 right now. So obviously fear is high. People are starting to come to their senses, I guess, realizing, well, this is what it is. We are here, right? It's not time to be panicking, right? What should we do about our current situation, right? You can only, well, I shouldn't say, let me take that back. I mean, at some point you have to decide, right? Are you going to be in the game? Are you going to stay in the game? Are you going to leave because you think more pain is going to come? Or are you going to take advantage, right, and buy the dip? So that's what I'm here to address tonight. So, Duran Yen says, DCA, since I heard you in June, my best financial decision ever. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, I am glad to hear that. So, let's get to it. First of all, you know, with fear so high, you know what? The good thing is, because Bitcoin stopped dipping, it seems like we had to found the bottom. The liquidations have been stopping, basically, right? Last day, this morning, we had over $1 billion, probably close to $1.5 billion worth of longs gone. And now you can see that the long liquidation is almost to zero. That's a good sign, right? I bet, here's the thing, here's the kicker. I bet there's a lot of greedy traders that have flipped to the short side. And I speculated that, hey, if we do get any kind of relief rally, a turnaround, a bounce, we're going to see some major reds like we saw with the greens, right? Because there's probably a lot of greed out there and so many people that are so certain that Bitcoin is going to go lower, right? That kind of confidence tends to wreck people sometimes. So the good thing is the longs have stopped, okay? But, you know, we're all waiting for what the Fed is going to do next week, right? So we know that. I've talked about it. You guys have heard about it. Everyone is wondering what the Fed is going to do. But here's the thing. Here's a couple things that may give us a clue about what's happening, right? We know, or what's going to happen. We know that inflation is high, 40-year high. It's going higher, right? So everything they're trying to do is trying to curb inflation. So the market is predicting, and mainly when I say market, Wall Street is predicting that the Fed is going to be very, very hawkish. They're going to raise rates really quickly. They're going to decrease, or they're going to taper really quickly and decrease how much they're buying. And they're going to sell off their balance sheet as quick as possible because they want to put a stop to inflation, right? That is what Wall Street's anticipating. That is what most traders have anticipated, what they're anticipating. So what they've done is just basically sell off, right? We know the sell off tech, sell off crypto, everything was sold off. But, some of the economic news has not been good, right? I've covered, I don't have the headlines with me, but I've covered how jobless claims is on the rise, right? That's not good. Home sales are down. Retail sales are down, right? So these are economic reports that are not very good. They're not very good at all. So this notion that Chairman Powell is going to be very, very, very aggressive to curb inflation, yet he is going by the fact that he thinks that the economy is very strong, but it's really not. And here's another headline I saw because of what we're going through with Omicron. If you're looking at supply chain, it has not gotten better. In fact, it has gotten worse. If you look at this article, there's over 100 freight ships that's waiting to come on dock, and the average time it takes from goods to go from a Chinese factory to American hands has extended to about 113 days. So in fact, if you're looking at this, supply chain is also getting worse. So when you put all this together, right, you have increasing supply chain issues. You still have many, many, many Americans that's out of a job, and that seems to be increasing, again, due to Omicron. And you have retail sales, new homes being built, everything that's measurable, and the profit, the quarter reports from the companies like Netflix was horrible. Peloton was horrible, right? So you add all this together, it makes you wonder, have Wall Street, have the traders, right? Have they got it wrong? Maybe this very, very, very hawkish stand, right, that they think Powell will have next week, maybe it's not so hawkish after all. So there is this guy right here. I don't know who Miles Creative is, but I think he sums it up. Everyone is thinking that, yes, the Fed is going to be very, 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 very aggressive and hawkish. But what if it's not, right? And this is what I've talked about the last few days. If it's not, and Powell realized, well, all these economic stuff that has been reported just isn't that good, right? We need to be a little bit more dovish. Well, guess what? All that money will flow back in. A lot of the money that's sitting on the sidelines right now because of all the selling, they could be flooding back into the market. So right now, it does seem like, yes, everyone is fearful. Everyone doesn't want to buy anything. No one wants to touch anything. No one wants to buy stocks. No one wants to buy crypto. But this could be the exact time why you want to actually pick some up because of this reason, because everyone is bearish, right? And you never really want to follow the herd. You're supposed to go against the opposite of what everyone else is doing, right? So I'm just going to throw that out there because I do recognize that so many people they're just so down and they just want to get out, right? But you know what? If you're looking at what's going on, you look at what could be announced and how everyone is so fearful, this may be the time to be buying some right now. DCAing, right? Doesn't mean that you go all in, but this could be a good time to buy a little bit or DCA. Even this, I was quite surprised by this. Even Mike Novogratz, Bitcoin billionaire, Mike Novogratz got in early, Galaxy Digital, and he has mining farms, and he's very well vested in a lot of crypto companies. He even says he's fearful. He's saying to sell into rallies and don't buy the dips. Right? That's a really new thing that I've heard from someone that's within Bitcoin, like some Bitcoin bull. Because previous times, even during crypto winter, he was always very bullish. Right? He was always very bullish. I remember, and some people made fun of him for being so bullish, but he's like, yeah, you know what? Stick with Bitcoin. It's the best asset that we have. He stuck through it and he's made billions from it. And now even he's fearful, saying, well, we should just sell into rallies and just not buy the dips. So, it goes to show when there's this much fear going on, could be a hint that we should do the opposite, that a reversal could be coming, right? This is, I've said this before. This reminds me a lot of what happened during April, May, June of 2021, right? During this time, same kind of fear level. In fact, I don't know, maybe it was even worse during this time. Because when Bitcoin first hit 64,000, then it started coming down. I remember this period, which lasted for like 3 months. And every single time, Bitcoin did test that bottom support about like 29,500, 30,000. Every time it hit it, and you could see these huge down wicks, every time we hit it, everyone was calling, we're going to fall down to 10,000. We're going to fall down to 20,000, right? Everyone was calling it. Everyone was expecting it. And no one bought. It was a fearful time, right? But guess what happened? Things came back. We never hit 20,000. We never broke below the support, right? So everyone that was calling it, everyone that was sitting on the sidelines, or everyone that was shorting, well, they all lost, or they got wrecked, or they lost out on such a tremendous rise, right? So it reminds me a lot of that period right now, where everyone is calling, we must go down to 30,000. And some are calling, we must go down to 20,000. We must go down to 25,000. Like, you got all these calls, but are we really going to get there, right? It just reminds me we're like kind of in that period where everyone is fearful, but that's usually when things come back up. And I think next week will be very telling, right? Very, very telling. A couple other things I just want to show you guys why buying right now may not be such a bad idea. Well, number one is this is the stablecoin supply ratio. This is SSR. And what's interesting about this is if you correlate this with Bollinger Bands, so you got two different indicators, but you put them together. And again, this goes back all the way to 2019. Whenever the SSR, the stablecoin supply ratio, just how much stablecoin is out there versus everything else, and it hits the bottom Bollinger Band, the lower band, that's usually when Bitcoin actually rallies significantly. Just like last time when we hit 28,000, 29,000. And just like over here when Bitcoin was at 10,000, and just like over here when Bitcoin was at 3,800. So, interesting. Also, what's interesting is this, and I've shown you guys this many times, about illiquid supply and how that continues to go up despite the fact that price is going down, right? Again, the holders, the whales, the miners, the ones that are holding, they're buying and they're taking out of the exchanges, that continues to go up. There's like no dip whatsoever. It's very different than when we hit 30,000 before. It's so different now versus before, right? So this is also very, very encouraging. And lastly, you know what? I saw this article and I think this sums it up very, 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 very well. Okay? And I've said this in pieces, but I'm going to sum it up because this article lays it out. Number one, everything goes in waves. Nothing goes up forever. There's downs, there's ups, there's volatility. Yes. Another reason why you want to buy when things are down is because you get a discount. It's like you got into a time machine and then you went back a year basically, because we're at the same point from a year ago. So you're grabbing things at a discount, right? Number three, you haven't lost any money unless you sell, because whatever you're seeing is unrealized losses. You don't actually make that a true realized loss until you sell. So that's important. And number four, and this is the point I was making, don't follow the crowd, don't follow the herd, because usually the herd is wrong. Usually the herd gets slaughtered, right? So while everyone is fearful right now, maybe it's time to do the opposite. Rather than sit on the sidelines, rather than panic sell, could be a good time to pick some up right now, right? So there you go. That's what I want to say. Good time to buy Bitcoin, good time to buy crypto. Well, seeing how things are discounted double digits over the last 7 days, 18%, 26%, 35%, right? This is an amazing discount. But with that said, does that mean you go all in, you go put all your money in or anything like that? No, right? When I say buy the dips or when you buy, usually it means that you want to sprout your buys. You buy a little bit and your dollar cost averaging, DCA, okay? You don't go all in. Most people that regret buying in is usually due to they put all their money in, they have nothing left over, right? Right now, we know that next week, there's going to be some major announcements from Fed, right? But everyone is predicting that it's going to be very bad for the markets. But maybe it's not. Maybe that's when the markets rally up significantly, especially with how oversold the whole crypto market is, right? So that's why. Sometimes you want to do the opposite. So if you DCA right now or buy a little bit, could be pretty good. Could work out. If it doesn't and we do go lower, let's say we do go to 30, like some people are anticipating, right? Maybe we do go down lower, but you know what? That's why you DCA and you dollar cost average. That's how you find a true bottom, because no one could tell you exactly where bottom is. Everyone is making an educated guess at this point. So no one really knows, right? All right, there you go. That's pretty much it. Just two other things, little things here and there before I get into Q&A. Number one is I did start a new channel, and some of you guys saw it because I posted it on YouTube just as a comment or as a post, not as a video or anything. I decided to start a new channel with a couple of my friends, lifelong friends, and they've always expressed interest to join me and do something. I've shared this idea before. It's called the Boredroom. Basically, we're just talking about anything we want, mostly financial stuff, investment stuff, Tesla news, current events, whatever, right? So if you look at the bottom of my channel, for those of you guys that are interested, go to the bottom of my channel. There is a new one right here called Boredroom Live. So you guys check it out. So just something new. I don't even know how much we're going to post, maybe once a week or something like that. Just something that's not 100% crypto all the time, okay? So that's the main reason why I'm doing it. And plus, I'm doing it with two very close friends of mine, basically guys I've grew up with and have known for almost 40 years now, or 30-something years now, right? So just want to let you guys know. And also I did onboard a new partner, and this is one I think I talked about yesterday. And I think this is very important. One of the big reasons why I decided to take them on as a partner is Vauld, because Vauld is a project I covered before. They're relatively new in the space, yet they're still pretty big. And what they do is what BlockFi does, what Celsius does, what Nexo does. Basically, they allow you to earn with your crypto, which I think right now, DeFi or just earning with your crypto is very, very, very important, right? We may be an extended bear trend market. We may be going sideways for a little bit, right? So we want to take advantage of what we have right now. I've been showing you guys about Anchor, about making pretty good APY with UST, but a lot of you guys also have different crypto, not just stable coins, but you may have USDT or USDC, but you may have Bitcoin, you may have Ethereum, you may have Phantom, you may have XRP, and many various other crypto. And that is what Vauld is all about. They give you some really, really, really aggressive APY rates, especially with stable coins. You're getting up to 12.68%. But for everything else, like Bitcoin or even XRP, these are pretty good rates. And plus, Vauld gives you other things. It allows you to DCA, allows you to trade as well, and allows you to borrow, but I don't suggest borrowing at all. In fact, someone just told me, because I just found out about this morning, I was telling you guys, besides leverage, people who borrowed against their crypto, they have to watch out, because usually you put down 50%, you could borrow 50% of what you put down as collateral, right? But if that collateral goes down by 50%, you're gonna get margin called, and you need to put in more margin or to go liquidate your collateral. And someone just told me it happened to Rob from Digital Asset News, unfortunately, but I think he was able to recover from that. But that is something that you have to pay attention to, because just because you think that something that you put down can't ever possibly go down 50%, we'll think again, because we just did. So be careful with borrowing against your crypto. But anyways, Vauld is my new partner. I'm gonna be utilizing them more in the future. I'm gonna show you guys how to use them, but I just want to introduce them right off the bat. If you want to learn more, check them out. URL is in the description. All right, outside of that, that's pretty much it. Let's just do some Q&A. Sue says, hi George, what is the name of your Boredroom YouTube channel? It's actually called Boredroom Live, but you're not going to find it because it's such new channel. So what you want to do is just go to the main CryptosRUs channel and scroll to the very, very bottom, and then you can see it right here, Boredroom Live, and then you can hit that subscribe button. But the channel is so new, so you're not going to be able to find it just by searching for it, okay? So it's right down here. In case, no pressure, guys. It has nothing to do with crypto. I may bring it up sometimes, but it's just me talking about stuff with my friends. And this very first one happens to be about Tesla, FSD, Lucid, you know, some of the stuff, EV range anxiety, stuff like that, you know, stuff that maybe some of you guys care about. Others, maybe not. All right, let me scroll up, and I apologize if I missed any super chats. Let's see here. RBiv, has there been any DeFi bank runs during this downturn? During this downturn, no. But before this downturn, yes. The last one I remember was Iron Finance. It happened to Iron Finance, the one that Mark Cuban was staking in. And I know that. And I'm sure it happened with other projects before too, but recently I have not heard anything. I heard there's some kind of MetaMask vulnerability, but that was only with their mobile app. But I think that was it. True TTA, bad news already priced in. Sullivan, you're the man, thank you. Lakers Nation, I think I want to buy more Solana at 96. I mean, I honestly think how much we've sold off, right? It does seem like, and a good thing that NASDAQ and the equities market is closed on the weekends, because they would have been slaughtered today too, and in the aftermarket. But you know, you got to figure everyone is overreacting, over panicking, right? Everyone, literally everyone you ask right now is saying we're for sure we're gonna go down to $30, and maybe we do, but what if we don't, right? What if you're sitting on the sidelines and then the Fed meeting turns out to be very positive, meaning that Powell realizes, well, the current state of the economy just isn't that good, and we can't be that hawkish. We got to be more dovish, so that maybe we don't raise rates as much that fast, or maybe instead of raising it 4 times, we're only going to do it 3 times this year. Maybe we're not going to start in March. We're going to wait until June, right? Because everyone is already predicting that it's going to be the worst case scenario. But if we get anything that's slightly better or much better, think about it, the markets go rally tremendously. And seeing how much we're oversold, I can't imagine how fast things will come back up, right? So I do agree with that. And keep in mind, the Fed meeting is for 2 days, not just 1 day. It starts Tuesday and it ends Wednesday, so we're not going to get an answer until Wednesday or Thursday. Mark says, you're not even subscribed to your own channel? I don't think I need to subscribe to my own channel. Thanks for keeping us calm during these awful times. I appreciate it, Mark. I do. Do you think time will make a Wonderland? Well, I don't know. These new rebase projects, you know, they seem to have figured out some way to kind of keep themselves afloat. And the bigger ones like Wonderland, maybe they can figure it out, right? And keep the rebasing going and keep the token price steady. Because ultimately, what you need to watch out for, not just with rebase projects, but with any DeFi, liquidity pools and so forth, is that if the rewards given doesn't compensate for the price dip, then you're doing it for nothing, right? So only time will tell, I guess, and no pun intended. Let's see. Mana or sand? I don't know. I would do 50-50 in those. Human says, can this sell-off have anything to do with tax season? No. We had a lot of it, tax harvesting, before the end of the year, because that's when you could do it. Right now, if you do tax harvesting, it would be for like next year's taxes. I doubt this has anything to do with taxes right now. Extraterrestrial media. Sol is a great example of VCs will dump on you, no Sol. Yeah, you know what? I've said that too recently. Solana's having more weakness, it seems like, right now versus others. In fact, it's pretty amazing that Luna is in the green right now. You know, I've said this too. When we started coming down, I'm like, you know what? And I had this one stream where I was showing you guys all the VCs and how much they own of these top L1s. And Solana's was definitely up there. And I speculated, you know what? If the hedge funds are panic selling, you know, maybe the VCs will too. And it does seem like that's what's happening, because Solana has really sold off quite a bit within this last few weeks. But does it mean that they won't? It doesn't mean that they won't come back up. They're still hovering at number 7, where Cardano was not too long ago. And Cardano's not doing all that great either. But you know what? They still have great things on their chain. And all these other chains still have great things going on. So I still believe in them. They will come back. Are there more rate hikes coming? That's what people are waiting to find out. If it's going to come in March, and if so, how much and how many. Because people are anticipating there's going to be at least 4 this year. And that the percentage rate will go up at least by 1%. So. My pride hit bottom. I'm sorry. I think a lot of people's prides hit bottom recently, so don't worry about it. It's not just you. Am I going to subscribe to Peter Schiff's channel? I mean, truth be told, Peter Schiff knows the economy, knows it really well. He's actually a good guy to listen. You know, his unwillingness to accept Bitcoin. That's about it. Even if he was just neutral on Bitcoin, that would be good. But he's like so against it. But, you know, he's losing his argument, because whatever he says about gold hasn't panned out for the last 12 years, you know? So, I don't know. But overall, Peter Schiff seems like a pretty cool guy. And he does seem like he knows what he's talking about. He's written many books, and some of the stuff he says about economy makes a whole lot of sense. Just not about Bitcoin. Human, I already answered your question. Soul Jazz. What do you think? We won't move until this is over, according to Bloomberg's. Biden's February executive order on crypto policy. Yeah, he has more things to worry about than crypto policy. No, I think we'll get clear answers after this FOMC meeting, right? I think we will definitely know what will happen. But worst case scenario, let's say the Fed is really, really, really hawkish. There's going to be rate hikes. There's going to be everything that he wants, that people are anticipating he's going to do, and he announces it. We'll probably see extended bear trend for a while. Maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe even 9 months. But we will get past it. We will get past it. And the thing is that I'm still clinging on to is the fact that inflation is ultimately what the Fed wants to fight. And right now, there's no better hedge against inflation than Bitcoin. Not gold, not silver, not bonds, not anything, not equities, not especially now when things are going down. The best is still Bitcoin. And I think a lot of traders, a lot of Wall Street guys or hedge funds, once they realize that they need to boost their books and protect their wealth, they go turn to Bitcoin. So I still believe that. I'm clinging on to that. So that's the worst case scenario. So if that happens, worst case scenario, maybe we just don't move at all. We don't move at all for many, 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 many months. But we have been through that. We have been through that. I've sat through it many years. It sucks, but we have gotten through it. It just takes a while. Let's see here. Added a lot. Well, that you just added. Fnatic added. Man, that's like 20 different tokens. Congratulations. Let's see. Have you looked at DVPN? It's built on Atom. No, but it sounds like a decentralized VPN play. Yeah. Decentralized VPNs, I don't know. They just don't really interest me. The VPNs overall don't interest me that much right now. All right. I answered that already. Is Luna go flip Solana? The way they are going, yeah, I think that's a possibility. I've said that before too, but not in this manner. But I kind of expected Terra to move up faster than the Solana, and right now what they're doing is just they're not going down as fast as Solana. So it could be a real possibility. I mean, staking with Terra UST, right, is still one of the best ways to earn interest without worry about volatility. So that is pretty huge, and that's what's really holding up Terra at this point. Refresh. You know, I don't know what happened with CoinMarketCap. It's like, it used to be like really on point. Maybe they have too much traffic, but it doesn't refresh until you actually refresh. So it's kind of annoying. But yeah, unfortunately, Terra went into the negative, but still not nearly as much as some of its peers. Let's see. What else is there? How does the moon chart look? We just got past the full moon, so I don't think it's due to the full moon. Omi moving to Immutable X on the 27th. Well, that's very good for them, right? And there is a process to switch your tokens over because you're going from the Go network to Immutable X, which is ERC20 based. So that's going to be a good move for them overall, long term. But short term, with market instability, you know, probably not going to see any kind of movement. But long term, that's very good for them. Very, very good. Alameda deployed a lot of funds to make Ren top 20 TV on Phantom. Free alpha for you. Okay. Okay. I do like Alameda. I do like Phantom, but not so sure about Ren. Luna will take over BDC. I think that's I think that's stretching it. I think that's stretching it. Bill Altman says, you're just guessing, George. Who isn't? No one could tell you 100% what's going to happen. Everyone's making educated guesses, okay? That's all we can do right now, right? But sometimes you put two and two together, you come up with a pretty good guess. And sometimes they work. So, I mean, you tell me who isn't. Russia is not banning crypto. The central bank just released a report. The central bank does not decide laws. Yeah, and that report was not a definitive ban. They didn't even say that. They just said they don't recommend it. But I mean, ultimately, Russia right now is not a big player in crypto. Or maybe Putin is secretly, stocking up. We don't know that. But in terms of overall volume, you look at how much Bitcoin is being traded. It's like the US, South Korea, Japan. But, you don't see really Russia up there. But, of course, having them enter the space or be more aggressive wouldn't be bad. Jorge said, do you mind saying hi to my friend Taco? Taco is it's his birthday. All right, well, happy birthday, Taco. Do I dabble in crypto gaming? I've been thinking about it, but I just don't have time. I mean, I've never been a big gamer. The only game that I was really, really, really addicted to was Diablo 2. And, man, I just ruined my college life just by playing that game. I still enjoy watching StarCraft 2, but that's about it. I've never been a big gamer. Some Xbox stuff, but I do want to try out some of these games, though, just to get myself more familiar with them, but just never seem to have time. Dabbed into DeFi Kingdoms. That's not really playing it. That's just purely staking it, using the DEX and the liquidity pools, but that's not really playing it. Man, Diablo 2 Restructed. I actually downloaded that for my kids, but they just have no interest in it. I played it for like 5 minutes, and it's exactly like the original game. I was so addicted to Diablo 2 during my college days. I was so addicted. All I did was, play that game for like 12 hours and a day and ditch classes and stuff. It was really bad. All right, guys, that's it. Stay strong, my friends. I know fear level is still high. We're still not out of the woodwork. Bitcoin is still low, but you know what? When everyone is so fearful, everyone just predicts doom and gloom. That's usually when it's a good time to buy the dip. Doesn't mean that you go all in, but dollar cost averaging right now wouldn't be a bad idea. Outside of that, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the Fed meeting. Again, we still have 2 more days to wait. In the meantime, if you can't DCA, well, just continue HODL, continue to educate, maybe look at some DeFi plays, looking at ways that you can stake and earn rewards with the crypto you have already. Or you could check out my new channel, the Boredroom Live, which you can get right here. So, all right, have a good night, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.